You're listening to Local Rapport, a community podcast where people in Calhoun County, Texas, and the surrounding areas share their roles, opinions, and life experiences. By listening, I'm confident you will appreciate the people that call this coastal land home, one story at a time. I'm your host, Sam Flores, and up next is this week's guest. Donuts a morning?
Yeah, instead of the
exactly. I was like, you think
the whole dozen?
And usually I'm really good at filtering like my thoughts and but not in that moment. I was like, you think I drink 3 sodas a day? Like, I straight up said that.
She's You're like, lady, I only drink 2.
The thing was that I don't drink sodas. Well, that's hypocrisy. I drink one on the way here, unless it's the weekend.
There's like one in his other hand. How'd that get here?
I don't drink sodas.
I've never seen this soda in my life.
It's brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Mine.
Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Yeah, no, like I try not to drink them unless it's on the weekends. I was like, good God, you think I drink 3 a day?
3 a day. Wow. Like, was there any other stipulations? Like
I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I'm glad you're doing good. Y'all both have been on a healthy path. You know, you were telling me just earlier that, you know, you get up early in the morning, you have a friend that you have a Devo with and that you go work out with too. So those are healthy changes, man. I hope that motivates people like me first to go and make some healthier changes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I do the whole, like, you know, when you recently have a kid, there tends to be potentially for some folks, I don't know, I've heard about it. And now I'm experiencing the weight gain, right?
Bad weight.
So it didn't happen while, like, Melissa was pregnant. Like they said, there's going to be like sympathy weight or whatever they called it. Yeah, I was losing weight whenever Melissa was pregnant, and so I'm just like, man, dude, I'm good. Like look at that, you know. Like I don't know what they're talking about, but then like after he came, I just blew up. So it's weird. I kind of wish it was the other way around now.
Dad bod.
The dad bod. It's like I just took a pill and then, yeah. But so now that we're all in our 20s and experiencing all the enjoyable things,
non-existent.
Metabolism is gone. Just want to say, glad to have you guys back on. You know, my agenda really is just to catch up with you guys, see how things have been going, and then also, you know, for us, we may have a couple of things that we may feel that is worth talking about. No pressure to, you know, absolutely hit on controversial things, but it's been interesting, right?
Yeah, we've had a few things have happened. Yeah, of course.
It's been one of those. We had this interview in 2020, and we're like, man, you know, it's an interesting year, and then we've also had an eventful 2021. So, you know, can you believe it's September already?
Almost October.
Yeah, it's crazy. No. It's crazy how this year is like it's flying by. But at the same time, it feels like it's going at a snail's pace almost, depending on the day. Like, depending on what's happening, you feel like, oh, my gosh, like, can this just end already?
Yeah.
But it's like, then a day goes by and you're like, holy crap, we're in October. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, so over here in Port Lavaca, we got, like, a county fair coming up, so we're still going to have that. We had some changes. So, like, recently they did, like, a United Way. It was a family fun day, but it was drive-through only, right? So unfortunately, you know, there was, because different teams and different groups, they'll make different decisions on basically like what the experience is going to look like, especially with COVID and cases still being around. And so that's that, which was this past Saturday. But then now we have the county fair coming up. And so that's going to be pretty open. And we're going to have, you know, rides out there.
Well, at least y'all are doing that. You know, Victoria.
What's Victoria like?
They've canceled the Boot Fest again for the second year. Yeah, they canceled it.
So they're not going to.
Nope. They canceled it.
I did see that in the paper there. Yeah,
second year in a row they're canceling it. So, you know.
But why?
COVID, man.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunately in addition to people being affected by it, then you got, you know, we tend to put things on the calendar, right? You know, there's things that we grew up used to doing around this time in the fall, and not that we got that used to having cold weather, but how about that cold front we had recently? Any comments on that?
It felt great.
It's done, right?
Broke out my Uggs.
It was
for the 2 days.
You brought out the Uggs for like the morning.
It was nice. It was nice.
I think yesterday was cool
with the pumpkin spice latte.
Okay, so I didn't even have time to get my latte because the temps hit 80 again.
By the time you got to the front of the
line. I got my car. I drove.
We're back in summer.
Yeah.
Got me a snow cone instead.
I was like, okay, I'm in Port Lavaca. If I get in my car like at 6 a.m, by 6:30 I'll make it to Victoria. It's 80 degrees.
Yeah.
So
Good
that's
stuff.
For sure something that I think still part of the reality, right? So it's all good. We'll make the best out of it, I'm sure. You guys have kept busy in your personal lives. So, I mean, just to kind of update, because for you, Brooks, I know that you've recently had like a transition, like you've gone with your education in a classroom setting.
Yeah, the education.
I know I have to watch what I say.
I'm sorry. You know what? I don't have to say anything.
I saw him break.
You're on the same page.
I saw him break.
His eyes got really big, and he like had so many questions. He turned around. So, hey, that's just on me, man. That's on me. Okay, I didn't set you up well.
Oh my God.
But yeah, you're doing some new things with your program. So
Yes,
what are you up to now, man?
So last time we sat down, talked together, graduation was a mere thought. Now it's a reality.
That's great.
And so yeah, man, looking at December, I think 11th, I believe is the day for graduation. And yeah, I'm over at Citizens Healthplex here in, not here, we're in Port Lavaca doing this, but back in Victoria. And it's just been awesome, man. It's been awesome. Being able to see how you're able to help people. Yeah. And potentially, I mean, we have our church background, make a ministry out of it potentially one day, because you help people physically, at the same time mentally, psychologically, because there's a lot of people that walk in there and they have a mindset of, well, look at all these other people, they're in shape, I'm not. Yeah. And so it's intimidating. It's it wears on the mentally, like, man, I can't get there. Like, yeah, you can, you just gotta work at it. And so being able to just help people, whether they realize or not, show God's love to them by helping them trying to, attain their goals, cheer them on, support them, all that good stuff. It's just been eye-opening. Like, for example, there's been a couple of instances where there's a gentleman where he has MS. Okay. And he's like in a motorized wheelchair. And he has, I believe, two big goals. One of them is to walk with a walker at some point. The other one is to, I think, get out of a car unassisted. And he shows up every day that he's supposed to. He's ready to work. I'm like, dude, bravo to you, man. Like, bravo to you. And it's, in the same time, there's another client where they had triple bypass surgery. Right. And, we work out together. And I was curious to know what my heart rate was after running a few miles. And I was at
kudos to you, man, for rocking out a few miles.
Oh, I know, right?
Just acting like that's no big thing.
Things that I never thought I would say ever. And my heart rate was at 165, I think was the average. Yeah. And I got done, and I'm like I am now. I'm like,
you can breathe.
Fine. Yeah, I can breathe. I'm fine. But this client, he is on the treadmill, and he's just walking at 3 miles an hour, like an average pace. And he's going for 15, 20 minutes. And by the time that 15, 20 minutes is hitting, he's, like he's having to work at it a little bit. And his heart rate is at 120. I'm just like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's laboring.
He's laboring a little bit. And it makes you reflect and be grateful for what you are able to do.
I mean, you're over here talking about how this guy, one of his goals is to get out of a car unassisted. Yeah. It's like, I've never really thought about how that's.
Yeah. Well, and especially in a year where, like, just right now, how do we open up? We're talking about, like, man, some of the inconveniences of 2021.
Yeah, right.
And then that's this guy's 2021. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Masks or vaccines. The thing for me is like, here's this guy that's like, all right, here's my situation. Yeah. You know what's really cool? If I get in the car unassisted on my own, like that. Yeah. That's perspective.
Like, it really is, man. It really is. And it highlights the big reason why you're there. For a lot of people, they go to work and they just try and claim a paycheck, Yeah. They have that mindset, which, I mean, you got to support your family, yourself, and all that good stuff. But I feel like every occupation goes deeper than that, especially with the field that I'm in. Yeah. With health and exercise and all that, because man, that can completely change someone's life around. You know, the quality of life, what we call activities of daily living, like being able to just walk across your house, brush your teeth, just the small things that you don't even think about doing that you take for granted. Yeah. And it all starts with that commitment, and that's what you're there for, to help them be like, hey, yeah, you can do this. Like, is it going to be a task? Yeah. Is it going to be a journey? Absolutely. But there's a finish line. There's a finish line to your goals. And once you get there, man, you're going to see everything flip on its head. Like, it's a complete 180. Like today, we actually had a coaching sessions, what we call them, for a first timer, and he's already dropped 60 pounds.
Golly.
He's already dropped 60 pounds. Wow. And he wants to go another 40.
Woo. And so he doesn't want to exist anymore? Yeah. Golly. That's a whole person.
That's a whole person.
And wow. Towards the end of the session, like we're just trying to find stuff that they're enjoying, stuff that they're capable of doing. And there's a balance bar on the wall, and, you know, he's just holding on to it, and he's doing body weight squats, you know, just going up and down squatting. And at the end of it, like he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic. Right. And he's like, man, I remember a time where I couldn't even bend down hardly. Like, I was so overweight. Yeah. And it's just a body weight squat. It's just squatting down and coming back up. He did it 15 times. He was ecstatic about it. I'm like, man, that is crazy. Like awesome, like crazy awesome. But it's just mind-blowing, the stuff that we take for granted, and that occupation really highlights all the blessings that you do have in life. And it's easy to just think about the negative stuff. Yeah. I think that's just the way that we work as people, in all honesty. Yeah. That we just focus on negative after negative after negative, and we completely forget the positives and the blessings that we do have. Even if it is an opportunity to go and try and make ourselves better, that's a blessing in of itself.
Yeah.
Man, okay, well said, man, because I'm over here like put me in, coach. Like
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm dropping 150 this week.
Yeah, this is it's legit and it's authentic, and I feel like it's earned because you're seeing it like with your own eyes, right? Yeah. You know, like you get it. Like, this person didn't make excuses, and they also did the homework, because I'd imagine sometimes maybe people aren't a fan of you. First and foremost, can you like share the full name of what your role is? Because I want to make sure that I didn't gloss over that at the beginning, because I know you work at the Health Plex.
Right. So as of right now, it's just an internship. It's one of those college working internships.
Yeah.
And what I'm going for is along the personal trainer side of things.
Right.
So that's really the reason why I'm there, is to get experience in that, you know, comfort in doing that, bunch of hours doing stuff like that. And my big MO as of right now has been shadowing others, just learning their styles, because everybody has a different style of training. Yeah. In case you've never gone to a personal trainer, but yeah, like some people will be more cardiovascular training type of style. Okay. More. I'm not gonna say laid back, but not as high intensity. Some people will have a higher intensity type of style training. Some will focus on strength and conditioning. It's really interesting to get inside the minds of everyone who has been doing this for a while, because you learn their preferred style, what they're good at teaching. Sure. Now, granted, it does matter on who the client is, you know, but yeah, you know, just seeing the style and seeing how me personally, how my mind works, how my attitude, personality works, what I would be able to do best with other people, and just starting, like, it's like a puzzle, you know, start piecing things together. Yeah. And seeing how I would be able to impact somebody's life based off of their needs and what I've come to learn this far. And so, yeah, it's just really the training side of things as of right now.
Hey, man, that's great. And, you know, and I'm really glad you took time to share that and break it down, because, again, it gives perspective, and we get to know that there is a community that thankfully has resources available to help them get in. My one question would be this, though. How does someone get in a program like that, though? Like if I had, you know, let's say I was paralyzed from the waist down, right? Like, is it as simple as going to the doctor and then they connecting them to the resources at the Health Plex? Like, what's the path?
Yeah, so if you want to do it like that kind of way, so you have a condition, a health deficiency, whatever you want to call it, you do go through the screening process. You go through so many questions, just to see if it's safe for you to exercise, because for a lot of people, like, oh, I'm just going to hop right into it. And they end up doing stuff that ends up harming them. Like, for example, if you have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And this is something that happened to me 3 years ago. Like we just, like we talked about that.
Yeah.
And so you go through that screening process to, one, make sure that you are doctor cleared, like clinically cleared to work out. You have your A-OK from your doctor. Yeah, go to Citizens Healthplex, for example, and they'll get you started on a regimen. Something that is smart, something that is safe, something that will help you. Instead of you just, okay, I'm just going to, throw a dart at the wall. Like, man, let's hope this lands on something good. Oh, man, CrossFit, and I'm 55 years old with high blood pressure. Like, dear Lord, have mercy. And so, that's why you go through it. And based off of what your client has, so for example, high blood pressure, you got to be mindful of that. Yeah. You don't want to give them something that's going to spike it up and potentially harm them. Yeah. And so, and once you make that commitment, in your mind, like, man, okay, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit it hard. You go to a place like the Health Plex, which is cool because it has a hospital tied to it.
Right.
Whereas Gold's, you're just going to have, Chad over there.
Chad. What's up, Chad? Hey, no offense for any Chads out there. Chad. Hey, tip my hat off to you. You do you, man.
You have amazing rippling biceps.
Yeah.
And they're just, injecting whatever into their veins, just
shoot. I didn't say that. He said that. I didn't say
what gym do you go to that there's a guy just juicing in front of everybody, just straight? Let's go. Like,
that's just for his stretch. Man.
So I had to play.
You got some underground gym.
Yeah, my goodness.
I had to play the stereotype a little bit more. But and so, you get to that mental state where it's like, okay, I'm ready to go do this. Yeah. Let me go talk to a professional, someone who's certified, someone who has experience, and have them work with me.
Right.
And that's another part of us is the mental part of it, the psychological part of it is such a massive percentage of taking that first step, of keeping with it. And, for a lot of us, it's easy to say, well, just go do it. It's like Nike, just do it. It's easy to say that. Why? Because it's mundane.
This is not sponsored by Nike, by the way.
No, it's not. And it's just easy for us to say that because it's mundane to us. Like, we work out. It is what it is. For us, it's easy to say that. For other people, it's a challenge. For a lot of people, it's a challenge.
It is, yeah.
And so, they come in. If they want a tour of the place, give them a tour. Give them a rundown of how we would work with them. And one, make them feel welcome. Make them feel like they are cared for, cared about. Because we're not just there to try and make money off them. Like, we're actually there to care for them. We want to see them progress in their health, get better, and just start that journey with them.
So there's a lot of questioning. I'm going to be able to dive in with Hunter here in a bit. So I promise you we're going to hit up on Hunter soon, but I appreciate you like just taking on these questions as they come along, because I have one last one.
Yeah.
So like for someone like me, all right, I'm gonna put myself in the hot seat. I had
this is gonna be dangerous. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I went running at the track and I did really good for a good minute, and I worked my way up to a couple of miles and I could knocked them out really easy.
Yeah.
And then boom, hit a wall. Life got busy, and then it just became like this big mental block. Like, I don't think I can go. It's hard for me to go. I know I should go, but I know I'm in the middle of choosing not to go, and then I end up not going. And then it happens the next day, and it happens the next day. All right, so now I'm 2 weeks deep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like, how do I, other than just showing up and going, of course, like, I don't know, is there something like, have you found yourself maybe, communicating to people in a way to motivate them, like, or what have you seen work, right? Because if you're a personal trainer, you're going to run into people who just don't want to do what they know they should do.
Right, and so for me, about a year and a half ago, COVID hit. We're stuck indoors. There really wasn't much to do. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to lose weight. Great decision. And so about a year and a half later, here I am, almost 40 down. And so I'm able to.
So you've lost 40 pounds.
Just about, yeah.
It's from 2020 to 2021.
Yeah, April of 2020.
And you mailed them to my address. You monster.
I was like, here, take them. I don't want them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So for someone like in your spot. It's like, oh my gosh, I said something wrong.
I'm joking. Yeah,
where
like, I'm just stuck.
Yeah, no, and time is a big part of it, you know, because a lot of people don't like waking up early to work out. They want their sleep.
Amen.
Their sleep helps them do their job better, get through the day, and then 5 o'clock hits, time to go home. They sit for 30 seconds on the couch, like, man, this feels great. You know, like,
okay.
I just want to chill out here. And I'm not hating on them for saying that because I'm the same exact way. But a big part of it is literally forcing yourself to have to do it. Because if you are, like me, a couch potato, like we like to snack, we like to watch TV, okay? Like I'm right there with you. You have to make that conscious decision, I'm going to go do this. And so for me, the thing that really helped me is that I got going, like really got the ball rolling. One through an exercise challenge that a big group of my friends did.
Okay.
And I'm competitive, and I was like, yeah, I got to try and win this thing. I did not. But what it got me going on was a regimen, you know.
What was this challenge, by the way?
So we call it The Biggest Loser, kind of like that old TV show,
yeah.
The Biggest Loser.
Old TV, it's
been gone for like 10 years now.
You gotta hold out though. You're over here talking about his weight one point. Now you're calling him out for his age.
I'm like,
we're guests in this man's house. Okay.
Hey, I just tried to transition. Okay, so it is what. So,
but yes, you definitely reminded me of that show where it like, did y'all copy the exact like exercises from there? Or you just call it The Biggest Loser? Okay.
No, it was basically
I was like, man, it's entertaining.
Who can walk/run the most miles in a month?
Okay.
And that was the gist of the challenge. And like I said, the competitive side of it, just wanting to do better than other people, it provided that accountability, and it was a massive group text also. And so, yeah, people were trying to outdo each other, but at the same time, cheering each other on. Mm-hmm. And so it created that accountability. And at the same time, the thing that helped me was people say, well, I'm just going to go walk around my block, which is absolutely, it's efficient. You don't have to, waste gas driving to a gym or to a track. Just go out to your driveway and just start going at it. But the problem with that is trying to get out of the house. If you actually get in your car, drive somewhere, you're like, well, I drove here, so might as well do it. And that's what worked for me.
Yeah.
I went to our local high school track, and I'm like, well, I'm here. I got to do it now. I may not want to. I'm crazy tired. I'm sore, whatever it is, but I'm here, and so I got to do it.
True.
And so it's defeating that mental block of any excuse that we may give ourselves. Well, I'm tired. I'm sore. The days that matter the most are the ones where your mind is telling you, hey, let's not do this. Like those are the most important ones, because there are more days like that than positive ones saying, all right, let's go do it. There's a lot of more days where your mind is saying, hey, let's not do this. Like, we're tired. We don't want to leave the house. It's hot outside, whatever it is. And you have to defeat that mental block. And like I said, the thing that I found to help me the most is going somewhere to do it.
Okay.
Because it makes you have to do it. Like, man, I drove 15 minutes. I'm not just going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my gas. I'm going to make a purpose for it.
So that's a good point. So, I mean, committing and then building a sense of, I guess, skin in the game, because like whether it's a competition or, you just being truthful with yourself and kind of just saying, okay, if I'm going to play the tired game, well, truth be told, I'm going to be tired tomorrow too.
Right.
So it's just be honest with myself. Do I just not want to do it? Well, then I should do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to go running tonight, but you make
hey, we can get a competition going, man. We can get a competition going.
That okay? That would be cool, because then I don't have anybody that I'm like, telling as far as like, showing them where my miles are going or anything like that.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, we could give, first, second, third place, prize, whatever. If you're competitive, I don't know, but
yeah.
Just cheer each other on.
I just need to do it.
Try and outdo each other. It pushes each other, and so if you're down to find a few other guys to do that, I'm totally in.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Whoever else is interested in joining this challenge that also has the name Samuel, let me know. So there could be a guy by the name of Samuel with high numbers or something that can join in. I'll just claim it. I'll be like, oh, that's me. You didn't know?
Right there.
Oh, that's totally me.
That would be fun, actually. Okay, I'm gonna take you up on that. We'll talk later over Ventura's tamales.
Yeah, absolutely right. I feel on tacos and queso. Let's get it.
All right. So within this past year, you guys, and we've talked a little bit at the end of our podcast. So the reason I want to bring this up is because last time we did a podcast, it wasn't on video and it was audio, and it was 2.5 hours, roughly,
something like that. Yeah,
give or take,
roughly.
Yeah.
This episode won't be that long, but my question to Hunter, because I would love to kind of just hear what he had worked on as far as you guys prepping y'all's own podcast and having y'all's own just not just topics that are religious, but really you guys are at an interesting cultural age of where there's lots of changes going on in the landscape of Christianity or just religion as a whole. And so you guys felt the need to start a podcast, but I just kind of want to hear on your side. Where has that been going since we last talked? And, can you remind us of the name and what your plans are for the podcast?
Finally got it off the ground.
Yeah.
8 months later.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned putting skin in the game, and so Brooks and I, after we shortly got done doing the podcast with you, we talked more and more about it. And we were like, okay, well, we're going to go spend a bunch of money on a soundboard, because if we spend money,
please don't say how much. No,
if we spend money on a soundboard, if we spend money on equipment,
we better use it.
Or I would hope we'd use it. So that's what we did. We said, okay, we're doing this, and Brooks came over. We looked over some of the stuff that we we're going to try to order and put money on it, and we're like, okay. So that stuff came in. It sat in my apartment for 4 months unused.
Right. got our last little bit of equipment in.
Yeah, and then we finally
had time for it.
All right, let's start it. So we started record. We have a couple episodes under our belt right now that we still have to edit and stuff like that, and that's what.
Is it a spoiler to ask? What are these first 3 to 5 episodes that you have in mind going to talk about? Is that something you want to give a teaser for?
No, not at all. So the first one, I don't know. I can't remember the titles.
I don't know if we have titles for them yet, but we'll come up with them.
The top
track one.
The topics. The first one was really an intro to who we are.
Yeah.
Who are these guys that we're listening to? And so it was a bunch of testimonial type of stuff.
Right.
Oh, sweet.
And then the big nail at the end was give God your yes.
Okay.
And so that was a big thing that we've seen in both of ours. Second one was I'm a trying person, not a good person. And so that comes off of something that you have, your own personal phrase, where you're like, dude, don't call me a good person, call me a trying person. And so we won't go all deep into it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spoil, but that's
so
that's nice that you guys are already laying out some of the okay, I'm not just saying this that sounds like something you live by, right? I'm a trying person.
Yeah, yeah. It's something that I think probably most likely got from my dad, honestly, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just we're not going to go into it, but it's just the whole thought process behind it is, when someone comes up to me and says, hey man, you're such a good man. Hey, you're such a good person. You're such a good this.
Right.
It kind of has this connotation of finality to it. Like, you did it. Like
you arrived.
You arrived. You're a good man. You did it. And I don't like that.
Okay.
So don't call me a good person. Call me a trying person, because I failed just like everyone else, and I don't want to feel like, I don't want to get complimented to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a good person. I'm done. I did it. I don't have to push anymore. And it's like, well, that's not true. You're going to be pushing towards that goal for the rest of your life, especially us as Christians. Our goal is Jesus, and we are never going to reach that.
Yeah.
So
if you
that's
read
kind of the whole process.
And if you read at the very beginning of Romans, you'll realize the entire gist of it is we suck as people.
Yeah. So you heard it here first. The Bible's just talking about how we just suck.
Yeah.
And how God is good. And how he's so
How's that
good
for
that
a
he
Monday?
sent his
Happy
son
Monday, everybody.
to die for us. There you go. There's your crash course on the Bible.
And so the cool thing is, through that, it keeps an earnest working of your faith. You know? So you're like, okay, so you're pretty much heading episode 2. It sounds like, right? You're carrying the bulk of that one, and I know you guys are putting some other ones together. I just want to say I'm proud of you guys. Like you guys, we talked about it, and then y'all have been putting in work and skin in the game, and so that's coming around the corner. So in a year like 2021, you know, there's still been some cool changes, man. Other than that, like in your world, I mean, anything that you feel like was highlight worthy or like things that you kind of want to just update us on?
Man. Well, I mean, man, a lot of things have happened in my own personal life. But I will say that, you know, I've been, you know, still working at the same job, still doing all that. In the HVAC industry and everything like that.
Hey, blessing to keep a job, man.
Yeah,
like,
amen.
Like I know before it used to be almost like yep, that's where I'm at, and then like but now it's like, oh, dude, thank God that like,
absolutely,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, absolutely. But recently I've kind of had a kind of, you know, God kind of putting it on my heart that I need to work on being better with my time. You know. Okay. And what I mean by that is, you know, like Brooks was saying, you know, you get home, you work all day, you get home, you sit on the couch, you know, you lay down, it feels good. You don't really want to do anything. You're kind of decompressing. For me, it was in those moments, I was never reaching for my personal time with God, you know, diving into the Bible, diving into the Word,
sure,
doing stuff like that. So I found, you know what, you know, God was really putting that on my heart that I need to fight for the time for Him. And if that meant sacrificing something of mine that I love, then I have to do that. And for me, it's sleep. I love sleep. Like, heck yeah. So, you know, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning it doesn't sound fun to me.
Yeah.
It still doesn't. But if I have to sacrifice that time to have an hour where I can get a quick workout in with a buddy of mine and go over devotional and start it right into God's Word, then let's do it. So that's something that I've kind of added for my schedule. And when I say I added it, I mean this week I added it. So
3 days ago.
Yeah, 3 days ago. So like right now I am working on like 3 or 4 lattes, 4 or 5 like espresso shots. Like I'm wired right now. But yeah,
some early mornings, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think they're well spent, like you said. That's, man, honestly, you know, having that conversation about being good with our time is a good one, especially where, you know, we can feel like maybe things take so much of our time, we want to redeem it in our own ways because, like, I have a bad habit of if I've had a long day, like if it's one of those from morning and then it's dark and you've been just running, you know, your commitments and you make it home and it's so easy just to want to stay up late because you feel like, oh, finally I have me time. And there's still a way that kind of disrupts the next day, or you know, and so that's tough. That's something I'm working on. Like I haven't figured it out. Like I still want to stay up late. Like I know I'm gonna stay up late tonight probably, you know. And so for me, I'm like, is that in that way of when I can choose to get rest? You know, like then it's the opposite, right? You know, it's like the sleeping in, but then also the staying up late. Like when I should rest, there's probably an argument for that. But I'm on. Yeah,
it's just like, man, you know, like I love sleep, but at the same time, I stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Then I abuse sleep by not having.
Exactly, by not actually going to bed when I'm supposed to. You know, not being adult with it and actually having a sleep schedule. You know, like most people do. So yeah, I totally get that. Totally get that.
Yeah. So if you have any motivational words for sleep, you know, feel free to let me know.
I really don't. I really just don't. I'm one of those who love sleep also. So.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't understand your struggle.
Yeah. I'd be hypocritical if I were to give advice. So.
Yeah. So still helping out with student ministry at Parkway. I know you guys have been very plugged in. Collegiate's been, you know, humming along too. So, and 2 big ministries that you guys still have y'all's big fingerprint on, which is great. You know, what's new there? Like what's happening this fall? Like you guys still, you know, been able to meet, thankfully. I mean, or things change.
Yeah, absolutely. The big change for me is the way that Parkway kind of does their thing. Their student ministry is you get set up with a grade and you follow with that grade until they graduate out. So I was with the same guys from 9th grade until they graduated out, and then I got reset to, I think, 9th grade again by the grace of God, and got followed with those guys for another 3 years. And then they graduated.
Where'd you get
out.
sent, Brooks?
Yeah. all the way back down.
All
to
the way back
sixth
down.
grade.
All the way back down to the beginning.
Yeah. So, but this year I got reset down to sixth
Yeah.
grade. So I'm with sixth graders, and I'm trying to learn how do you conversate with a sixth grader?
So that's a great thing to talk about. So how do you have a conversation with a sixth grader?
Okay, so Brooks has got a completely different.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt real quick because for those listening or for those watching, two different ministries, right? So we have a student ministry with our church. It's called Student Impact. And so you got from sixth grade all the way to 12th grade. And then we have collegiate, which is going to be your, 18 and up, what's like adult. 25, 26 or
I think it's 30.
Just young adult.
It's become young adult.
Young adult, yeah.
Don't let
40.
The name fool you.
Yeah,
Collegiate, but it's turned young
Collegiate
adult.
plus. Yeah.
That's really what we need to do. Collegiate plus.
So it's like sometimes I get emails like from Apple. They try to make it seem like they did something good for me, like it's a favor. Like recently they upgraded my iCloud account to iCloud Plus. It didn't really change anything. Like I was like, does that mean I have more gigs?
No.
Like it's like no, but
you have the plus.
You probably could do this if you want.
Yeah,
things I would never do. And so it's like, hey, we enrolled you to Collegiate Plus. You didn't ask for it. You're just
What do we get? Nothing. It's just you get to say
you get to stay. Like So the other thing that I went off on a rail there, but yes, student ministry and collegiate. So two different ministries that are plugging in people in through a discipleship process. But you were saying with the student side of things, sixth grade, and then we were like, how do we converse with a sixth grader?
Yeah. So it's so it was a lot easier. Obviously, at the time when I started serving, I think I was 21.
I have no idea. That's your story, not mine.
Yeah, 2021, something like that. We met around the same time.
That's a great reply.
So
I'm just going to tell people that. They're like, man, when was it? It's your story, bro.
It's your story, man.
I can't help you.
Well, we met at the same time, so that's why I was looking at you.
Okay.
But it was like 2021, so I'm meeting with guys that are 4 years, 5 years younger than me, so it's not that hard to connect with them and try to remember, okay, this is what it was like. Yeah. Now I'm 25, and I've been reset to sixth grade, and I'm like, dude, man, what is it like to be a sixth grader? And then I have to be like, okay, it was not the same when I was in sixth grade, that the same thing they're going through right now.
Yeah.
But by the grace of God, I honestly, I have, 3, 4 sixth graders that are really great young men, and they're really easy to actually have tough conversations with.
So I would think many listening here are parents, and they have, those that are possibly already in junior high, if not high school and up. But like, man, we've gone through lots of recent trends. I know TikTok, there's the whole like destroying school property, those kind of trends.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard any of that from the sixth graders? Have they shared anything with you on that?
No, I haven't heard anything like that. Again, these guys are actually
stand-up guys.
Yeah, pretty good guys.
You're
honestly.
like they hide their issues really well.
Yeah. I mean, besides the one thing they were talking about the other night was they were talking about how they were making pen rubber band guns out of pens.
Yeah, those are fun.
You like taking them together, taking them apart.
You're like, oh, thank God, something that I
shooting it at people and stuff like that. And I instantly caught that I'm definitely getting older, because my first thought was, oh my God, these kids are going to put somebody's eye out, and we need to tell somebody. Like, no, don't,
wear safety glasses.
Yeah, wear
safety
glasses.
That'll work. Here you go.
Yeah.
Play responsibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell I'm getting older, because that was my first thought, safety.
Yeah. Well, and that's good that they're not maybe too wrapped up in those recent trends. I mean, I don't know, on your end, you said you got reset to sixth grade. So are you hearing anything like that on yours, Brooks?
So my guys are in eighth grade.
Oh, okay.
And TikTok is a big part of their lives.
All right.
Because
it's a big part of mine.
They just have nothing but one-liners. What?
This is a big part of mine.
This is where these two generations shake hands.
Yeah, TikTok.
Right.
Bringing generations together.
And so I find myself, like, they're quoting this and they're showing me this stuff and they're just dying, like, peeing themselves laughing. And I'm just
funny.
like,
this is not funny.
I'm like, what? I'm like, how is this funny to you? But at the same time, like, people probably think,
I saw.
I was about to say that, dude. If we don't laugh at
talk.
something, it's probably really stupid.
Man, I wish that probably looked funny. Me like looking like I was about to launch off the chair. But and it's funny because I was saying that while I was getting excited about something. So like, it probably looked even worse.
Oh my gosh, let me talk.
So, all right, there's a video, and I wish I could have pulled it up. I'm not gonna chase it, but it was like a father like who like grew up in our generation, like in the future. It was like, all right, like the years like 2050 or whatever, and 2030, I guess. So he sees his son like laughing at like something on his phone in his room, and he's just like, "What you laughing at there, son?" He's like, "Dad, you wouldn't get it," and he's just like, "Son, you know, because we feel like we're cultured, right? You know, we feel cultured." And he's like, "Oh, son, come on, just show me." "No, Dad, you wouldn't get it." He's like, "Just show me." And then like he flips the screen over and shows him it's just a black screen, like blank. It's just a black picture, and the kid's like laughing. He's like, like, "Isn't that great?" And like the dad's just there, like trying to figure it out. "Yeah, son, this is good. Oh, good stuff." You know, just. Like what is going to be the humor?
Well, okay.
I've seen those videos.
We're on our way.
Okay, this is how you know your sense of humor is broken.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes,
that's what I was about to say.
It's a piece of bread.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
It's just a piece of bread standing up, and you're just waiting for it, and just
it drops on the beat.
Yeah, it literally just stands there. He cuts it. He stands there, and it just and that's it. It falls over, makes the noise.
So and for some reason I laugh.
Yeah, that's our humor. So if you want to know what Brooks and I's humor is like, it's bread falling over.
There's a TikToker with like millions of followers, and he cuts the slice of bread, and the timing of it always lands on the beat of whatever song he plays. It's glorious. Is that the same guy?
It might be.
This bread savant?
I have no clue, but God, like I feel like we're
terrible.
Devolving as people.
Yeah.
I feel like
it's just static, like an old TV playing, and you're just like happy inside, just
like
watching
laughing at that.
I mean, what's funny about that is because I think before the whole bread TikTok thing, I think you and I would agree that the best way to describe our humor was if anybody's seen SpongeBob, is the scene with Patrick saying, the inner workings of my mind are an enigma. And then the spilled milk falls over. That would be the best way.
Yes, it is.
But now it's kind of it's
TikTok now. Now we all have it.
Yeah, we're growing too.
Yeah, we're so I'm glad you're in these guys, circle. It's good. Obviously it's fun when there's like overlapping humor. Like that's great. But they need direction. They need, of course, when there's so much that's just always evolving, and social media being one, school, just peer pressures, things like that being other things. It's good that they have, a circle of folks that they kind of keep them grounded. So when those opportunities come up, best of luck to you. It's hard for me to sit across younger teens now. I realize I'm just so awkward. It's hard for me to connect, dude. Like I'm aged out.
How do you do, younger kids?
Yeah. Like I'm just like, hey. So yeah, like with the sport,
that's lit.
The thing
that's your start. Hey,
hey,
that is pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. So
just that pause alone is just like, oh man, this is rough.
It's rough. No, it is rough because I realize my go-to thing, like when I see the high schoolers come in or whatever, I'm just like, hey, and that's it. As far as I can get. Anything back that, I'm a fraud. I have zero connection past it. I try, and like there was actually the volleyball players. I think they're the younger high school girls. I said younger, but that would be junior high. No, but they still seem young because they're high schoolers. So like they came in and they're like chatting about their day and all the drama that came with it, and I'm just like. I'm like, someone save me, and one of them actually told me.
You're just seeing flashbacks.
Because I was like, hey, how's it going? Right. Just want to make some small talk. And they're just like, oh my gosh, my friend had this happen. And they basically like had like an asthma attack. And I was there to like help them. And we like rescued her basically because we got the nurse or the people to help her just in time. And then some other one was like, yeah, I'm involved with this kind of controversy over here, and they had like so much going on. I wasn't ready for this. Like I was just like, I just want to hear adult problems, like like take me to a safe space, like I want to hear how we can't afford rent, and we're having health crises, like this is
I'd rather talk about that.
Yeah, this is stressing me out. And she literally said, one of the three girls there was just like, oh, oh, I'm sorry, Sam. He doesn't know what to say, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I know.
So you had that face of just
I was like, I have nothing here to contribute. Like,
y'all take care. I'm just going.
Like, you know, when I said, "How's your day?" I was kind of thinking, "Oh yeah, it was great." You know, like this was cool. I did great in sports.
Somebody was suffocating on the ground, and
and then all the like drama and stuff that goes into it. I'm just like, man, I'm so glad we have student leaders here. Hey, what's up, Eric and Paige? So we got some students here. They need some comfort, or they just need a vent.
Man. Save me.
Yeah, like someone, I can't do this. I'm not prepared. So obviously, hopefully having a kid will kind of help me gain some of the street cred back. No, it won't. But, you know, I can only hope. So anyway, all that to say, I appreciate what you guys do. It takes a special breed to hang out with students. Yeah. So thank you all for doing that. It's not me.
Yeah.
I ain't that guy.
Yeah. Ain't that guy, pal. Ain't that guy.
You ain't that
guy. I'm glad I can appreciate references. So I was thinking, to me, I appreciate those updates. I didn't mean to cut you off. If you had, you know, maybe you said there was quite a bit going on and for you.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just family and all that other stuff. It's been, everything keeps moving, So.
Right. So you kind of feel like, okay, some milestones, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like actually,
cool.
here's one. My man over here.
Okay.
Is actually possibly getting ready to move out of his parents' house.
All right.
Which is,
time to move up in the world.
Yeah, man.
Heck yeah.
Time to move up.
Yeah, so
college is finally.
I like how you just like put that on the
It's like, God, like, man, we really respected everything these guys said. Holy crap, that dude's a loser.
Hey, have y'all seen rent costs? Okay, I wish I stayed home as long as he did. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
God.
So
what's it like being 30 and still living with your parents? I'm just kidding.
He's not 30. He's not 30. I'm the guy that's knocking on 30. All right. I'll tell him myself. I'm 20. Like I'm the literal 29 and holding. You know, like I used to hear that growing up. Yeah. I'm holding.
Digging in the fingernails.
Yeah. You can't take. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, I got like. I don't know, 4 more months of being 29.
Don't do the math, man. You're just torturing yourself.
4 or 5, maybe.
Oh, man.
Maybe. But
3 more years.
That's good, man. Dude, I feel like I'm going home. Oh, no. I'm only 29. So, what was terrible was like today, it's going to sound like a humble brag. Not a humble brag. It was part of what we had to do. We were asked to go to Christ's Kitchen. And so, made time to go out and do that. Well, I was there. I was working next to someone who was 79, and I was working next to someone who was 60-something, maybe 65, right? They don't look their age, by the way. So I really thought, like, she was 60, and I thought the other guy was, like, 50. Like, so I was kind of blown. But they started talking about, like, some health problems, right? So we're all talking about, like, our health issues and stuff. And I just thought it was terrible because I think after a while they kind of got concerned. They were just like, wait a minute, wait, how old are you? I'm like, oh, 29. They're just like, hey, we're going to stop what we're doing and we're going to pray for you. No, they didn't go that far. No, no, they didn't go that far. But I can tell they're just like, that boy ain't right, you know?
Like,
they're like, man, you're
at that age.
Yeah, they're like, man, you got that at 29. Like, I didn't feel a thing at 29. What's going on with you? All that to say, getting old's fun. But but then they started like talking about like, yeah, I've had this many like stints and surgeries and strokes are all going that. And I was like, man, so what'd you do to get out of that? They're like, well, you got to move. You got to exercise. Well, okay, well, I hear the theme, I hear
exercise.
The theme. Yeah, I'm like,
that's the big theme of today's episode.
Right? Never heard that one. Move. Yeah. Just move. That's what we're going to call it. Just move.
Just move.
And the Nike.
Yeah, just move is backwards.
Yeah. What I thought?
Brand Nike. Just move.
Off night. Yeah. Just move.
Yeah.
So, and that's important, right? I thought what we could do though is wrap it up with some cards. Maybe we'll do that for old time's sake.
Yeah, bring it back.
Bring back some cards, man. For those that may not know what this is, it's just some random cards. We ask some random questions. We'll do that for about 10 minutes, and then this was fun again.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm saying like it's by now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't even know that we were recording until 10 minutes in. I'm being dead honest.
Same?
I had no idea.
I'm smooth, man.
I want everyone.
I saw the record button red. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
When did we start this? There might, unless you edit it out, there might be a time in there where I'm sniffing the mic. So
I'm gonna officially say that it started after that.
Yeah.
It just intros in on a big whiff.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
anyway,
conscious about what I said now.
I'm just gonna grab it. Let's get out of this. Let's continue. Okay. Well.
Oh God. Oh no.
Brooks, what is the Sam's married? That's not fair.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What is the weirdest thing you find attractive in a person?
The weirdest thing. I feel like this could go like really.
Hey, you might find
not
some.
PG.
What is the weirdest thing you find attractive in a person? That's usually it's not something somebody looks at.
Zoom in now, like the camera's gonna get around.
I don't know if it's weird.
Oh, what is it?
But it's probably something that you really don't think about.
Okay,
too much.
okay.
We've had this conversation.
We have.
All right.
If they have clean language,
Okay.
like
Okay.
I don't know if that's weird.
No,
but
I'm not laughing at it.
no,
I'm just
no.
thinking like because it's like you made it seem like it was gonna be such a hard sell.
No,
but it was very safe.
No, because it says weird. So I don't know if that's weird, but it's
just
not
different.
one of those things
It's
that automatically
it's-
comes to mind. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's like, that sounds out.
Yeah.
You know, that you really don't think about right off the bat.
So you're saying that like it's one of those things that almost like through process of elimination, like until you hear it, and then it becomes possibly a turn off, just maybe because the way it lands, then you think about it and you're like, maybe I do prefer,
Yeah.
not
a sailor.
not a sailor.
Yeah, Drew and I were actually talking about this kind of something like this like the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were talking about how, we were talking about girls and all this other, whatever. I made the comment that a girl that is a 10 who, looks wise can be brought down a lot by, by the way.
Smoking.
Yeah. Oh God. I wasn't even taking it that direction, but yeah, like the way that they carry themselves or the way they talk or smoking, man.
So that may not be weird, but I guess it's obscure. I guess is a better word.
A preference, right?
Yeah.
So
Like
like
that, so.
basically you said, hey, this is a preference of mine.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Cool with another round.
Yeah.
Or-
Okay. Yeah. I handpicked one.
Yeah.
So
Are you really gonna put me on the spot? God, you want me
He
to look
looked
like a
for
loser.
it.
You want me to look like a loser in this thing.
okay. All right. I won't ask this,
Okay.
but I do have a story that I want to tell. associated with this.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right.
So the question has to do with like a date, right?
Sure.
So I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this like joke. So you're driving in a car. You have those car games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I Spy.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? Well, growing up, one of the jokes, the stupid jokes somebody would make that you'd be on a road trip or something like that, we'd be passing a graveyard and be like, hey, how many dead people do you think are in there?
Oh.
What kind of a game is this?
Yeah, well, it's just a stupid joke. Like, hey, how many people you think are dead in there? And
Yeah.
the joke is all of them. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. All right, like a trick.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
a okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny.
Mental game, yeah.
Yeah, or hey, I feel bad for saying this. Hey, everyone, hold your breath because it's unfair. They can't breathe, so hold your breath.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. So like pay your respects.
Yeah. So when I was dating this girl in high school, we were passing a graveyard, and I've never played this game since. I've never made this. I've never said this.
Yeah.
I have never played this game before. Like,
But your mind unlocked it.
well, after I tell you, you'll see why. So we're passing this graveyard, and I say, because we're having a good time and whatever. I said, oh, hey, hold your breath because it's unfair. They can't breathe too. And she gets very serious. She starts to tear up. She starts to cry. I'm like, oh, no.
Whose family members in there?
Yep.
Her dad was buried in there.
No. No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no.
There is no coming back. If y'all are, hey, how do you rebound from that?
Yeah,
you
how do
don't.
How do you?
You don't. This
you
is
don't.
what you do. You turn up the music.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And just try to get to where you're dropping her off as fast as you can. Get away from the awkwardness because there's nothing you can say, nothing you can do to get
I have
back
to
from
ask.
that.
I have to ask. Did you try though? Was there like some kind of like, all right, maybe I can save this. Maybe I can bring up my unique childhood game. Like what happened?
I just kept saying I'm sorry. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
And try to comfort her as much as I can. Even though I
Wow,
was the
that's
one
intense, man.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I'm not the only one because I've definitely been there. I made some.
It's one of those I put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. I feel for you, man. I can feel it. I can.
So, anyway. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm still gonna say that. You know, like now I feel like because you gave me the memory.
Yeah, no. Listen. Okay. I told you that so you wouldn't do that. Okay. Don't make.
It's like I understood.
Yeah. Don't talk about cemeteries. You know, because odds are, you know, it's all. It's just bad. It's just unfortunate.
I appreciate your words of caution. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a card for what?
So that card was asking, what's the worst date you had, or what happened on the worst date that you had, and it made me think of that. Yeah. So, do you have one? What's the worst date? You've ever
Yeah, I know I have to have one. I mean, I probably. I'm trying to think. Like, I know I've probably been a part of some really sad dates because of me, not because of them, but because of me. But like, I don't know why I can't stop but think of being like 15 years old. I don't know, 15, 16. No, I wasn't 16. Good Lord, no. But I think I was 15 and I went to the movies with somebody. And I remember I still had to be picked up by my mom afterwards. And I feel like there's nothing more like humiliating than to leave a theater.
Sweetie, I'm here. Did you bring me extra popcorn?
Oh, she's pretty.
Did you see me? We're over here. Yeah. I feel like there's nothing more like that's like you don't have pride after that.
Yeah.
You know, like you're humble. You're a humbled man after that.
I'll see you in algebra.
So that's what I think of. Like I'm sure I could probably think of something later, but I was like, man, like when did I feel some cringe? And I think back to just being about 15, going to the movies, having a good time. I felt like an adult, some independence. You know, you're with someone you love. You know, well, at that time, you know, teenage love, man. You know, I'm a softie, man. I was in it. We knew each other 3 days, and I'm like, promise ring. You know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we touched hands in the
felt
alley.
Electricity because our elbows touched or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just
literally
a sign.
shocked me. Wow, this is great. That's just electric.
And then you know you have all that you feel, and then it's just like, mom's here. Yeah. So I have to go.
Oh,
you know, I know you have your car. I know you drive.
But I don't. My mom's coming.
Yeah. But my time's up. It's curfew.
Well, hey, you can always just say, well, you know, my mom's car's in the shop and she's driving mine right now, and so she came to pick me up because she had to go do some grocery runs or something. Yeah.
I left my driver's license at home.
See, and then it's one of those like comical, like it just one lie lends itself to a bigger lie, and then it's more disappointing. See, there was like I just had to go straight to the burn.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah, it's my mom.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, that's my mom.
Yeah. So thanks for asking me.
Yeah, absolutely. Brooks, do you have one?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you got a card, right?
Yeah.
I was asking my card.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool, yeah. Which words or phrases do you most overuse?
Words or phrases I most overuse. Well, do you have one?
I feel like I have my phrases that people know that I say. So apparently, whenever I disagree with something, that's not serious, by the way. Like, it's just a comical disagreement. Apparently, my voice will get very sharp and high. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm already there. I'm on the same page.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I'll do that.
I can confirm this.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I mean, it's not a word or phrase, but it's what I'll do and people mock me for it. Trying to think. Oh, we always say, would you?
Yeah.
And we don't finish it. And we don't finish it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what I want.
Yeah, like, what I want.
Would you? Would you stop? Would you knock it off? Would you? You?
Everything above. Okay, everything that answers would you. That.
Just would you.
Yeah, would you.
So yeah, that's probably mine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Sam, would you?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. So, guys, absolutely fun. You guys make this easy. This was a really good time. And so thanks for coming on again for the second time. Like I said, you guys are like my first full episode repeaters. So this is technically season two,
yes,
man.
Sir. Season 2.
Local report isn't dead.
Yeah.
I'm back. And we're going to keep doing this. It's Thursday. It's already towards the end of the week. We've had long days. We're tired. And that whole outro's out.
You sound like a dog trying to eat peanut butter.
Like I'm over here like trying to like, okay, maybe I can nicely tie a bow on it. And then we send out.
Sorry, I got to make it hard on you, bro.
And then it's like,
what is that
I
noise?
can't edit that out.
Is the mic cracking or something?
The lower I drag
Something's
on
wrong.
the edit, the louder it gets somehow. I'm like, what is going on? Hey, well, that was a treat for all the ASMR folks out there.
I did it last time, so I had to bring it back.
Had to bring it back.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you, listeners, for coming or joining or listening or watching now, which is great. But I appreciate you
y'all
guys.
can see us now.
You can see,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
We got faces to the.
Man, they're ugly.
Take him off.
Take them off. Go back
Man,
to
we're
just the audio.
Man, our humor has been exceptionally brutal to ourselves.
Yeah.
We have that.
If you can't laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You guys be all right. Take care.
Yeah,
and,
thank you for having us back.
Yeah,
dude, absolutely. I look forward to being on y'all's podcast for an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So High 304
High 304.
coming out
304.
sooner than
It's on the brink.
Sooner than later.
sooner than later. It's on the cusp
Absolutely.
of
Getting there.
hitting people's ears. So
That's it.
that's great, man. I'm excited with y'all. See y'all.
Later.
Hey, you've made it to the end of the episode. You are so awesome for that. Thanks so much for your support. If you are interested and would love to be a guest on this podcast, I happily invite you to be. Email me in the description below.